Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. So today I'm making a video which I'm pretty passionate about, which is tips on how to start saving money as a teenager. So for a part of this video I'm going to be talking about tips on how to make money and choosing jobs and kind of a little bit of advice on how to get jobs, interview tips, hanging in your resume, all that stuff. And then the next bit will be all about saving the money and tips on how to not spend on unnecessary things. I'm kind of just going to be going through the tips on how I made money and have saved like over $15,000 as a 17-year-old. This video is not at all to compare the amount of money we will have and to say by this age you should be having this much money, because we've all got different lifestyles, we've all been brought up different ways and had different opportunities. It can be really hard getting a job. You may not want to work as a teenager, and that is all completely fine, and like some of these things are just out of your control. If you want to have some money like ready for you when you leave school, then this will be the video for you. That is enough talking, let's get straight into it. First of all, getting a job. That is probably one of the hardest bits, especially as a teenager. It can be quite difficult to get to that interview stage because everyone can apply online, but it's very unlikely like you're gonna get a job just straight up applying online. First things first, you need to make a resume. I'm not going to go in detail about how to make a resume here. Main things you want to have in it is obviously name, age, availability, experience. I mean, you're not going to have much experience, especially if it's your first job, so just write any volunteer work that you've done helping out with the school, any like awards or extracurricular things you do, because I just want to see that you are like an involved person. So prime thing that you need to do to grab the manager's attention, if you know someone that works there, ask for the manager's name. If not, ring up the place and just be like, I'm looking at applying and just wondering who I should address my letter to, and they will hopefully give you the name of the manager. And then go into the store or whatever it is, ask the person politely at the front desk, hello, I was just wondering if Michelle is in today. They'll like bring her for you, and then just say, hello, my name is Paris, I'm just wondering if I could hand in my resume. I'm currently in year 12. I have a pretty flexible availability and would love to work here. And then they'll either ask you a few questions. Is there any days you can't work, or when could be the earliest you could start, or would you prefer to work front end, back end, depending if you're like working in a cafe or not. And they'll be like, all right, thank you, we'll get in contact with you. And then if you don't hear anything within a week, go back there and just be like, and then speak to the manager, like, hey, my name's Paris, I came in like early last week and I was just wondering if there are any positions available or if you guys are hiring at the moment. And then that is what makes you stand out, because it's showing that you have the initiative and the care factor to go back, speak to the manager again. They're going to recognize your face and they're going to be like, hang on, this person's really interested. She's just not going around handing in resumes to everywhere. She really wants to work here. At Coles, I went in 3 times asking if they were hiring. On the 3rd time, he said, can you start next week? And that was it. I had no interview, nothing. I literally started the next week. And then at a cafe, I went in once after I handed in my resume, and she just said, can you come in on a trial Friday? And then I got the job. So that is what you have to do. Trust me, I have worked in many places. I have gotten to know managers and I know what they're looking for. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but that is the general thing with casual or part-time jobs. With the interview, just some general advice. Be prepared to answer questions like, why should we hire you? Why shouldn't we hire you? It's a little tip with that question. If they say, why shouldn't you hire you? Just say, maybe because you may want someone with more experience. However, I'm going to work really hard to learn. Let's just say, for example, at Subway, I just said, I'm going to work really hard to learn the recommendations to give people, pricings and stuff, work to have the best customer service that I can, something like that. So say the issue, but then say why that shouldn't be an issue. Because you don't just want to say, oh, don't hire me because, like there could be better people. Do some research, a little bit of research, have some understanding of where you're applying for. And then if it's customer service or in a cafe, just be like, I'll make sure like customers want to come back. I'll treat them really nicely, and I'll make sure every customer feels like they're being treated as the first customer of the day. Like even when things get tiring, I'm not going to change my attitude, and I'm still going to be, you know, friendly and try and help customers with whatever they want. thinking of places to apply, some people may not care about this, but this is one thing that you kind of got to consider, which is money. If you want to work at a place that is going to give you good money and fair work, the bigger the organization, it's normally the fairer the work. I know in Australia here, like maybe 10 years ago, that was not the case, but they've recently done heaps of like law changes, and they've had lots of, I don't know what they're called, like companies, whatever, coming in, make sure people are being treated right and paid what they should be. Supermarkets, Kmart, Target, big brand stuff are going to pay you well and give you the right amount of breaks. When I was working at one place for 2 years, realizing that I could be getting paid $2 more on a basic rate and double my money on weekends, which I wasn't. I thought I loved working here when I was younger, but now that I'm older and could be earning more, I'm going to go to a place where I will be earning more. There are, of course, lots of small businesses that will have fair work, but you just kind of got to be a bit careful with that and really think about it. And is this like family owned? Is it a franchise, or is this a big company? And yeah, because trust me, them big companies cannot afford to get like places like Fair Work involved. They don't want to be dealing with any sort of like issues. They just don't want to have that reputation. Now that the job topic's out of the way, let's go into how to actually save money. First things first, of course, you're gonna need to open up a bank account when you get a job. So I've got 2 bank accounts. I've got a youth saver and then a spendings account. Youth saver is what mum made for me when I was like reception. For like a year, once every 2 weeks, she'd put like, you know, $10 in whatever. So I've had that account for a while, and then I decided I want some actual like good money in this. It's time for me to get a job. So when I got paid, all of my money went into my spendings, because on my savings account, I earn interest on it. So I don't know what the percentage is, but when you have a savings account, look for one that has interest or bonuses, especially people under 18. This could be a good option for you. They will have some sort of youth savings account, which definitely look into. Don't just get a normal savings one, because every month the bank pays you a percentage of money that you have put into your account. I roughly earn like $12 interest a month, plus like a $2 bonus or something, and that's a $12 a month that I didn't have before, that I'm getting for free for having my money sit there. However, that reduces if you take money out, so you don't really want to be taking money out of that account. So that's why I have my work money in my spending, so I don't need to worry about interest and all that stuff in there. I used to put like 75% of my work money into savings, and then I'd have 25% left to buy whatever. Say if I wanted to get like food, clothes, or just leave it in there for the sake of just having something in case of an emergency. So say if I got paid 200 bucks, I'd put 150 in savings and then $50 in spendings. Now in my spendings account, I always like to have between $30 and $100 just in case. I hardly ever use it, which I'll get into later. And then yeah, always putting in money into savings. Okay, so that's the first thing you got to do. Next up, how to not buy unnecessary things. Set yourself a goal. Like, have you got a savings goal, or do you just want to save, you know, generally until you finish school? Or is there like a target you want to hit? Is there something you want to buy, like your first car? There are things you got to consider about, and just have some goals, because then you're going to be more accountable. Do I really want this like $30 t-shirt, or could I have that $30 more towards my car? What do I want more? What do I need? Do I want this $100 Adidas label top, or can I get the same one without the Adidas label from Kmart for $5? I'm gonna go with Kmart and put the rest of the money into savings. That's just like a general example. Of course, you're allowed to buy yourself some nice stuff every now and then. But yeah, be really careful with what you spend, and just always have that goal in the back of your head. My goal is travel, and I just save for, you know, traveling, and then obviously like a house when I'm older. Don't particularly want to buy a first car. It's just not going to be fun, but I know I've got to do it. So yeah, having that goal in the back of your head will prevent you from buying like unnecessary things. Be really considerate if you're going out and buying food. If you're just out and you're just like, everyone's out, and I just think like I'll just get food for the sake of like getting food. You could eat before, or just like, actually, I've literally got heaps of stuff at home. There's no need for me to buy like $30 worth of takeaway. Of course, you can get takeaway every now and then, but don't make it an everyday thing, because it will add up. Like if you go and get a frozen Coke from Macca's every day after school, that's like $30 a month. If you reduce that to, you know, once a week, that's $26 you could be adding to your savings. So it's just small things like that you really got to think about. And then what are the needs and what are the wants? Don't just always go for the wants. Sometimes you've got to think about the needs, and do I really need this? Maybe not. Also, if you're someone who likes to buy like clothes a lot, and you're really into fashion, this used to be me. What you could do, don't be grossed out. You could go to like a secondhand shop, like an op shop, buy something that you think has potential, and then do some sewing, make it fancy. You can get really creative and stuff and literally spend $2 on a top that used to be like 50. Fix it up a little bit, get your mum to help you, and there you go, you got a top. So yeah, just think of like creative ways you could save money every now and then. They are mostly like my main tips. I hope you guys have found this helpful, and if you have any more like specific questions, please ask them below, because I'll be more than happy to help you guys with this stuff. This is a topic that I'm, you know, passionate about in, and I have a lot of experience in. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe, all of that jazz, and I'll see you all in my next video.